What if a language could decide politics, elections, identity, and even the future unity of a country? In India, language is not just about communication, it is about survival. Because for millions of Indians, their language is their history, their culture, their pride, and their identity. And that is why language became one of the most emotional and political issues in modern India. Why do some people want Hindi to grow nationally? Why do some states strongly resist it? And why can one language debate suddenly create protests, anger, and political tension across the country? Because behind this debate, there is a deeper fear, the fear of losing identity in a rapidly changing India. India was never a one-language civilization. To understand India's language politics, you first need to understand one thing. India was never built around one language. For thousands of years, India was a civilization of many languages. Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada, Bengali, Marathi, Punjabi, Telugu, Malayalam, Gujarati, Assamese, and many more. Each language carried its own literature, history, poetry, music, and cultural memory. Many of these languages are older than several modern nations. That means language in India is deeply emotional. Now compare this with many European countries where one language became dominant nationally. India evolved differently. Diversity became normal. And after independence in 1947, this created a huge question. How do you unite such a massive country without destroying regional identities? That question still shapes Indian politics today. The Hindi question changed everything. After independence, many leaders wanted Hindi to become a stronger national language. The idea sounded simple. One major language could improve administration and national unity. But many non-Hindi speaking states became nervous, especially in South India. Why? Because they feared something deeper than language itself, loss of identity. Many people worried if one language dominates nationally, will other languages slowly become weaker? This fear became strongest in Tamil Nadu. And in the 1960s, massive anti-Hindi protests erupted. Students protested, political movements grew, violence happened in some places. The protests became so powerful that the Indian government eventually stepped back from plans that were seen as pushing Hindi too aggressively. And this moment changed India forever. Because Delhi understood something important. India could not survive through forced cultural uniformity. It had to survive through balance. Language is really about power. Now here is where things become even more political. Languages is also about opportunity and power. Think about jobs, government exams, education systems, administration, media, business. If one language becomes dominant, people speaking other languages may fear losing opportunities, and this creates political tension quickly. For example, many southern states often argue that Hindi-speaking regions already have demographic advantages in national politics. So when language policies change, people sometimes see it not only as cultural pressure, but also political pressure. Now add social media to this. Today, every language debate spreads instantly online, and algorithms reward emotional content, which means language issues now becomes bigger and more emotional much faster than before. English created a strange balance. Now here is the irony. The language that helped reduce some conflict in India was English. Not because everyone loved it, but because it became neutral ground, a bridge language. English allowed southern states, northern states, business communities and global industries to communicate without one Indian language fully dominating nationally. This created a strange system. India became emotionally connected to regional languages, while economically and globally connected through English. And honestly, this system helped India in unexpected ways, especially in technology, IT services, global businesses, and education. But it also created inequality, because English fluency often became linked with economic success, and that created another layer of tension inside India. Why this issue is returning again? Now many people thought language politics would slowly disappear, but instead it is returning strongly. Why? Because India is changing rapidly. Nationalism is rising globally. Social media amplifies identity politics. Regional pride is growing. Economic competition between states is increasing. And language sits at the center of all of this. Debates over Hindi, regional languages, education policy, competitive exams, government communication, and digital platforms now quickly become political flashpoints, especially in states with strong linguistic identities like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, West Bengal, and parts of the Northeast. And here is the important point. Most people are not anti-India, they are afraid of cultural disappearance. That emotional fear drives much of the debate. The internet changed everything. Now here is something fascinating. Technology is completely changing India's language politics. For years, English dominated the internet. But now regional language internet use is exploding. YouTube, Instagram, regional cinema, podcast, AI translation, regional news channels. Suddenly, people no longer need to abandon their language to participate online. This is changing power dynamics rapidly. Regional identity is becoming stronger digitally, and political parties understand this very well. Today, language is not only cultural, it is also digital influence, media influence, voter influence, and economic influence. The internet has made identity politics stronger everywhere in the world, and India is no exception. The biggest question for India's future. Now here is the deeper geopolitical question. Can India become a global superpower while staying deeply diverse internally? Because countries often try to centralize as they become stronger. But India's strength comes from diversity itself. Different languages, different states, different cultures, different identities. That makes India complex. But it also makes India unique. And this is why language politics matters so much. Because it is really a debate about what kind of country India wants to become. A highly centralized nation with stronger uniform identity, or a power union where regional identities remain strongly protected. That tension will likely shape Indian politics for decades. And honestly, India's success may depend on how well it balances both unity and diversity together. Conclusion. At the end of the day, language in India is not just about words, it is about memory, history, identity, power, fear, and survival. For some people, Hindi represents national connection. For others, regional languages represents cultural survival. And both emotions are real. That is why language debates in India become so emotional so quickly. Because when people fear losing language, they often fear losing themselves. And as India rises globally, this question may become even bigger. Can India stay united without weakening the diversity that made India extraordinary in the first place? Because the future of India may not only depend on economics or military power, it may depend on whether hundreds of millions of people continue feeling that their identity still belongs inside the Indian story.